Syria's interim president has declared that protecting the country's Druze citizens is his priority, following Israel's vow to destroy government forces it accused of attacking members of the religious minority in Suweida province. In his first televised address since Israel's airstrikes on Damascus on Wednesday, Ahmed al-Shara also asserted that Syrians are not afraid of war. According to Syrian state media, the military has begun withdrawing from Suweida under a ceasefire agreement with Druze leaders, though it remains unclear whether the truce will hold. More than 350 people have reportedly been killed since sectarian clashes erupted on Sunday between Druze militias and Bedouin tribes in the province. In response, the government deployed its forces to the predominantly Druze city of Suweida for the first time since Shara's Sunni Islamist group led the rebel offensive that overthrew President Bashar al-Assad in December, ending 13 years of civil war. However, the violence escalated, and government forces were accused by residents and activists of killing Druze civilians and carrying out extrajudicial executions. The Druze religion, an offshoot of Shia Islam, has its own distinct identity and beliefs. In addition to Syria, sizable Druze communities also exist in Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, and the occupied Golan Heights. Since Shara came to power, Syria's Druze and other minorities have remained wary of him due to his jihadist past. His Islamist group, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, is a former al-Qaeda affiliate that remains designated a terrorist organization by the UN. Their fears have intensified with several recent outbreaks of deadly sectarian violence, including one in May involving Druze militias, security forces, and allied Islamist fighters, which also prompted military intervention by Israel. In his speech early Thursday, Shara emphasized that the Druze are a fundamental part of the fabric of this nation and rejected any effort to drag them into the hands of an external party. The president stated that government forces deployed to Suweida had succeeded in restoring stability and expelling outlawed factions despite the Israeli interventions, which, he said, led to a significant complication of the situation and a large-scale escalation. We are not among those who fear the war. We've spent our lives facing challenges and defending our people, but we have put the interests of Assyrians before chaos and destruction, he said. Responsibility for maintaining security in Suweida, he added, would now be transferred to religious elders and certain local factions based on the supreme national interest. Shara concluded his speech by pledging that the government was keen on holding accountable those who transgressed and abused our Druze people. On Wednesday, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told the country's own Druze citizens that Israeli forces were acting to save our Druze brothers and to eliminate the gangs of the regime. The Israeli military stated that its aircraft had struck the Syrian military's headquarters in Damascus, a military site near the presidential palace, armored vehicles heading toward Suweida, and firing positions and weapons storage facilities in southern Syria. We are acting decisively to prevent the entrenchment of hostile elements beyond the border, to protect the citizens of the State of Israel, and to prevent the harming of Druze civilians, said Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir, the Israeli military's chief of staff, during a visit to the Golan Heights. We will not allow southern Syria to become a terror stronghold, he warned. The general also emphasized that there was no room for disorder near the border fence, following an incident in which hundreds of Druze crossed the heavily fortified frontier with Syria on Wednesday. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the United States was engaging with all parties involved and had agreed on specific steps that will bring this troubling and horrifying situation to an end. He added, "This will require all parties to deliver on the commitments they have made, and this is what we fully expect them to do," though he did not provide further details. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, SOHR, a UK-based monitoring group, reported that more than 350 people have been killed since Sunday. These include 79 Druze fighters and 55 civilians, 27 of whom, according to the group, were summarily executed by forces from the Interior and Defense Ministries. Additionally, at least 189 members of the government forces and 18 Bedouin tribal fighters have also been killed in the clashes, SOHR said. While it was not immediately possible to independently verify SOR's casualty figures, Syrian security sources confirmed on Wednesday that the death toll was approaching 300.